Here's Brody Brazil.
You know, the subject of community benefits is an interesting one as it relates to the Oakland A's, what they were trying to do in Oakland, and now what they're trying to get passed in Las Vegas. Because community benefits with Howard Terminal was kind of a sticking point. So was affordable housing, so was infrastructure costs. But here we are now in Southern Nevada, and the language detailing the community benefits package, it's just coming out. It's just being evaluated while we are potentially 2 or 3 weeks away from Major League Baseball taking an official relocation vote. Interesting, right? It was such an early thought in the Oakland side. It's such a late thought in terms of what Las Vegas is doing. We'll pick up the coverage from what happened a couple days ago via the Nevada Current. The Las Vegas Stadium Authority back on Wednesday released a draft of the contract detailing the financial and philanthropic commitments to be made by the Oakland A's as part of their sweetheart deal with the state. Is that a technical term? Sweetheart deal? The draft community benefits agreement fleshes out some of the expectations established in SB 1, the legislation lawmakers passed back in June that secured the Major League Baseball team $380 million in public assistance for their proposed $1.5 billion, 30,000-seat, 9-acre domed baseball stadium on the Las Vegas Strip. We'll have to fact check all those things. 30,000 seats, still not sure. 9 acres, still not sure. Domed or retractable, still not sure. Requirements in the draft CBA include things like meeting quotas for the hiring of minority and women workers, hosting at least 17 different appreciation nights or awareness days, and investing in youth baseball and local nonprofits. The number 17 is interesting. It's good. It's a good number. And I would say the youth activities and sports leagues, that's something the A's and pretty much every other team across baseball already does. The A's will be required to make an annual commitment of $500,000 during the construction phase, starting the year county bonds are issued. Once the stadium opens, the A's will be required to contribute annually $2 million or 1% of their ticket revenue, whichever is higher. Those amounts, which can be cash or in-kind donations, were set in statute by lawmakers. Interesting there that we get the $2 million amount or the 1% of ticket sales amount, because if you do some math and extrapolate, maybe you can figure out what the expectation is in terms of ticket sale revenue for this Las Vegas ballpark. And obviously the A's are bound to whichever the higher number is, but you'd have to imagine they set those goals pretty close to each other. Also, the fact that the donations can be made via cash or in-kind donations. A lot of times in-kind donations are things that maybe the team can give a value that don't actually cost money or cash, if that makes sense. The community benefits agreement requires that at least 15% of the baseball stadium project be subcontracted to small local businesses, and at least 51% of construction work hours must be done by women, minorities, veterans, or disabled workers. Similarly, 60% of event operations work must be performed by workers who meet one or more of those criteria. Full-time operations employees must earn a living wage and be provided benefits including health care and paid family and medical leave. The A's will be required to host, quote, awareness programming and celebrations, end quote, including appreciation nights for nurses, teachers, first responders, and veterans. Also required, Asian American and Pacific Islander, Hispanic, Indigenous, and African American heritage nights, as well as events for Pride Month, Juneteenth, Hunger Action Awareness, and disability awareness. Many of the requirements within the CBA are broad, giving plenty of leeway to the A's to decide what causes or organizations to support. A's players will be required to participate in various community engagement activities such as visiting local hospitals or schools. The team will also be required to offer, quote, no cost and discounted admissions for the benefit of students and families in need, and support little leagues in underserved communities. And I'll just pause right there to once again remind you that everything we've read so far is already being done by the Oakland A's and pretty much every other Major League Baseball team an NBA team, an NHL team, an MLS team, and NFL team. There's nothing outstanding here, and I'm not saying that as a knock to the A's or anybody else. It's just that what's being spelled out here is pretty much straightforward and expected, and it does not really go tremendously above and beyond. It's a baseline. I think it's important to declare it is a baseline. The A's will be required to create opportunities to spotlight and support Nevada small businesses and nonprofits. According to the CBA, this could include ticket sales fundraising programs, pregame recognition, or social media posts. Like, that seems like the easiest stuff you could possibly do. And again, I wonder about the ticket giving, and eventually you'll see here the use of a community suite. You talk about a 30,000 seat venue, they need to sell every ticket as announced for a lot of years as projected. You know, we're talking about 5-10 tickets a game maybe. Is that really it? What does a suite hold? 17, 19 people? Again, it's a commitment. It's a baseline commitment. The community suite will also be available for use by a charitable, community, or economic development organization at no cost. The agreement also requires the team to have a grant program for veterans, a job program for veterans, an arts plan, and a small business fund. These things are a little bit more intricate. The CBA also includes a provision that the team incorporates visuals from the Neon Museum. Now, that's something I had seen at some point during the summer, maybe June or July, that the Neon Museum was going to either relocate and be part of this 9-acre stadium site project on the south end of the Strip at the Tropicana Hotel, or that they would have some part in this. Now we're seeing that it's visuals. So maybe an exhibit from the Neon Museum, but it's interesting how random that is and how that's kind of worked into the CBA here. The A's will partner with the Nevada System of Higher Education to provide mentorship opportunities, scholarships, and internships. Well, again, internships is something every baseball and sports team has. Big companies have. Scholarships are nice, and mentorship opportunities are nice too. The team must dedicate funds for improving and restoring baseball and softball fields in Nevada public schools, colleges, and universities, especially within underserved communities. And again, the A's have been doing that with their community fund for decades in Oakland. Hill, as in Steve Hill, said the A's won't be expected to do everything listed in the CBA each year, but instead may focus on different aspects each year in order to maximize the power of the at least $2 million in contributions. So two things pop out there. I get it. It could be read two different ways, that they won't be held to everything. No, I think they're being held to at least the $2 million commitment. I think what they're saying is maybe they won't get to every group mentioned here. They'll spread that out over time. But I'm also curious, of at least $2 million in contributions, will it ever be 7? Or will it be 2? And that's fine. This is what Las Vegas is agreeing to, but it's that's quite the sell right there. That's quite the way to phrase things. We'll see how it goes. A baseball stadium community oversight committee, BSCOC, will be formed to oversee the implementation and administration of the CBA. The BSCOC will have 7 appointed members, 2 by the Stadium Authority, 2 by the Clark County Commission, and 1 appointed by the Governor, Senate Majority Leader, and Assembly Speaker. So those are details from the Nevada Current. And again, I just think it's interesting to point out what we had heard negotiated between Oakland and the A's seemed at least this robust, if not several steps more, a little bit more demanding. This one seems pretty straightforward, very much like a template. And that's fine. If this is Las Vegas's decision here, this is the agreement that they are going in on. But my whole point is that all of this was an early negotiation with Oakland, and now it's not even signed, sealed, and delivered. And potentially we are just 2-3 weeks away from this type of approval. So just wanted to spell out and give you some detail of how things are going in the community benefits realm. You made it here to the end of the video. You know I appreciate that. Thumbs up down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so I can definitely see you back here next time.